Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It is Tuesday, August 27th, and we are here to talk about the Go Home show heading into NXT No Mercy on September 1st. I'm your host, Denise Salcedo, and with me, of course, is none other than Chinedu. Chinedu, are you believing in Joe Hendry right now?
With the insertion of the Trick Williams as the referee, I indeed am. I cannot wait. I am excited. They're gonna put this belt on the TNA guy, Denise. This is crazy.
Dude, okay, so going into this, I don't know, man. I'm a little bit torn. I'm honestly torn because before this, I was thinking, okay, I definitely think Joe Hendry's winning. I think that he's going to become NXT champion. I think WWE is going to do it. And I know we had the whole conversation, but will they do it with a guy who is technically not a WWE wrestler, but a TNA wrestler, right? And I was on board with it. My prediction the whole entire time was Joe Hendry. However, after tonight, I don't think Joe Hendry is winning at NXT No Mercy. And the only reason I say that is because every single time, Chinedu, that they have somebody hold the championship up right before the dang show, right before the dang match, usually that kind of symbolizes like, hey, it ain't gonna happen this time. And when I saw that, I was like, no, I don't think Joe Hendry's winning anymore. I don't know. Am I crazy? Usually I look at that stuff.
No, Denise, you're not. And honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed myself that I didn't catch that because I was so excited. Him holding the belt and doing the wave, and then like Trick did his little thing. He did that was good.
Dude, NXT had a whole ass sing along to do. First, it was the concert, and then right after into whoop that trick.
Yes, I was excited. So I think I got caught up in karaoke moment of NXT though because it was exciting, it was great, and the visual was awesome. I think I caught up in that though, but that is so true. Whenever the challenger holds up that title, they usually don't win it. A la Dusty Finish, man. You're gonna only have the picture on your mantle at home. Maybe one day your son will avenge it decades later and win it for you. But man, he's not gonna win, Denise.
I don't know. I don't know. Unless they're trying to trick us because they know what we know.
I
I
mean,
don't
that is
know.
because Sean and Hunter, they know we look at these things. So like they're already hip to us seeing these things and predicting and understanding. That would be a great swerve, but oh man, I want him to win just because mainly I haven't been enthused with Ethan as champion. I want some excitement. But he probably if he retains, I mean it would be good heat on him, I guess. That would be some good heat.
I
But
would also love it if Joe Hendry wins. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this wasn't a symbol that he isn't winning because I do hope that Joe Hendry wins. You want to know why, Chinedu? You want to know
well,
why, listeners? Because it's best for business.
show is. Shout out to Denise. Listen, shout out to Paul Levesque. It's up Paul Levesque and all the people in charge of this show because they understand what we want. We want Joe Hendry, guys. We don't want Ethan Page anymore. It's been boring. Okay, it's been a very boring reign. No,
But
no offense to Ethan.
it was very hilarious today, though, with the sing along with the Joe Hendry concert. So let's just get right into it because that's the fun stuff right there. So,
Yeah.
the way that we closed out the show, lots of fireworks, man. Lots of fireworks, lots that sort of was in play here. So, the first thing that we get on the main, like the closing of the show, is the Joe Hendry concert. And this was so freaking awesome because Ethan Page kind of gave like a lot of material to Joe Hendry. He's talking about the way that he exercises, the things that he wears while he exercises. He's talking about, I was like, can you even say this? He was talking about him playing with himself.
Yes. Yes.
He then mentions, oh God, what else? He has this really catchy little chorus that everybody started singing, which I opened the show with. And I will tell you, when Ethan Page came out and they had the little promo between Ethan Page and Joe Hendry, I didn't hear shit that they were saying.
Nope.
I can't even recap what they said because the entire time, everybody, the crowd was singing the chorus to this little song that Joe Hendry did. And it was so freaking great. It just put you like in a pretty fun mood because Joe Hendry just had the dude, no one even cares what you're saying because everyone is singing my song face.
It's so true. Like at that point with them saying that, Joe Hendry didn't have to say a single word, no matter what Ethan said. He didn't have to say anything else because that song was ringing. And you look at it in terms of like Ethan's crowd reaction. I do love those moments where like it's kind of a sing along heat against him because it went from the 1, 2, 3 now the sing along, and I mean, they just kept getting louder and louder and louder. And initially, I wasn't sure if the crowd was singing along at first in the sing along because Joe kept saying everyone all together. All right, come on, everyone. He kept saying over and over again. I was like, are they singing with him? But then when he came out, like, oh, like, okay, yeah, they are. They're behind him,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was amazing. And I mean, you could tell. I love the way Ethan reacted to it. I mean, great, great improvise.
Improv. Just say improv. Great
Yes,
improv.
great improv skills.
Improvisation. Yeah.
I'm getting tongue tied here. Great improv skills by Ethan Page by going with the crowd, getting flushed, getting frustrated. I loved it. I love how he gets like really angry with the crowd. It makes the crowd, I feel, want to even engage even more. So I think that's really great on Ethan Page's part. But this overall, just great segment to me. Phenomenal. Joe Hendry concerts have so far been, yeah, they've all been great. They've all been great so far. They haven't been a single dud yet. This is what, concert number 2 or 3 from him.
I think this is the second concert on NXT. Yeah. For
Oh,
Joe
yeah, man.
Hendry. Yeah, I think it's the
Two,
second one.
two, man. It's been great.
So here's the thing. Now, there's kind of a lot to get into with this as well, because the big thing, two teases here. So first of all, the big thing is that we are going to be having a special guest referee in this match. And that special guest referee is going to be Trick Williams, who had kind of been getting screwed multiple times by Ethan Page for several times now. But so we get out there. He's announced as the special guest referee by Ava. Cool. That was when we get the moment where we get like this visual pin on Ethan Page and Joe Hendry celebrates with the championship. And that's when I started thinking, oh no, maybe Joe isn't going to win. But also we had a Pete Dunne tease.
Yes.
Pete Dunne, who nobody noticed other than us, because Joe didn't notice him. Trick Williams didn't notice him. None of the guys in the ring noticed him, but we did because he talked directly to the camera and basically issued out a warning. So I do think that Pete Dunne is basically going to play a part in this main event for sure, because he pretty much just teased it like he's coming.
Yeah, I'm possibly predicting a run-in from him, takes out Trick. Another referee runs down after Ethan cheats to win, retains the title. Lots of heel heat. That will probably be the ending, more than likely, given all the stuff that we just brought up now. And like, again, how did I almost forget about Pete Dunne again? I got caught in the sing-along, Denise. I was really caught up in that. I really do believe in Joe Hendry now. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe.
Were you not already believing in Joe Hendry?
Yeah, I was fairly believing in Joe Hendry though, but I thought, because it was, to me, like, since he was a TNA guy, I only thought he was only going to go so far. Because even when his debut, like they chunked him out the ring together. I was like, well, okay, he had a good little run. I didn't think he'd get here from how he kind of debuted on the NXT roster anyway, in a way. But I'm still excited for him, and I believe, man, this guy's entertaining. He's funny, charismatic, all the things that I feel Ethan Page has not been able to do in his title run. No offense to him, because he has the potential, though. It's just his feuds and the booking just hasn't been what it's needed to be for him to be like a top heel champion, in my opinion. And also, before you start, though, I just want to put this out there. I don't know what he's going to say, but to Mr. Sheldon Jack, but before I even say anything, okay? Yes, I have the June episode of NXT Review in my queue. I'm going to watch it tomorrow and see what I said. I'll have my reply for you next week or the week after, depending on how we just put it out there right now, because I don't know. You think I went in the group chat earlier. I think he called me the flip-flop king in there earlier. I think he called me something like that. I saw it already, Sheldon. I'm on to you. All right, listen, I'm on to you, man. I'm on to you.
This is turning into a war right here. I was like, damn, we're getting firsthand statements. This is turning into a press conference. You're out here addressing shit.
You let them know, man.
Amazing.
It wasn't
Amazing. Also, another thing that we got was a tease, by the way. Joe Hendry, when he was walking backstage, did you notice that he stopped and looked at Drew McIntyre's photo? Of course, Scottish. That was the main thing. But I saw that and I was like, I know it's really just because of Scotland, but hey, I'm going to make an extra connection to that.
Honestly, I want to see that happen. At least at minimum, a backstage like face off where they don't say anything. They just look face to face, stare at each other, just walk away. Just put in there. We don't need it now. We have a lot of things going on right now. Drew's involved with Punk. Joe Hendry's involved with Ethan. I understand, but at least give us a little tease though, because it's something I feel you guys have to do because it's just it's such a good match, a good rivalry potentially, not to do something with it. At least give us a tease about it. At least a tease.
That was good. It was very, very subtle. And who
Mhm.
knows if it's a tease or just a, recognition type thing. We'll
Mhm.
see. But we got plenty to get into today with NXT. Of course, I want to get your reactions, your predictions, because I'm torn here, guys. I don't know what to think. Is Joe Hendry winning at NXT No Mercy? I went from a yes to a no. Of course, I would want him to, but I'm trying to predict what's going to happen here on this show. And Chinedu, you went from a no to a yes. So we flip flopped.
Yes, we did. We
I
really
don't
did.
know.
I don't know now because there are a lot of factors in it because I feel this will makes NXT so good now because all these factors exist and they could still go the other way just because they know we look at these things and we think about these factors. And it makes me all the more excited about watching No Mercy this Sunday.
All right, well, we got some super chats here, so let's get to them. Here we go. This is from Luis Arturo Mendez, who says NXT should do a combined PLE with TNA and call it NXT NA Takeover Worlds Collide. I almost got like tongue-tied there. However, I do think, by the way, that we're inching closer to that. So I know we're going to talk about this later, but in the promo between Zachary Wentz and Wes Lee, when Wes Lee basically threw a shot at him and said, I'm a WWE superstar, you're just a TNA wrestler, I thought, I don't think he just said that for shits and giggles. I'm reading into this. This to me could be the start of like, oh, well, are we going to get a pay-per-view like this? People have been wanting a Worlds Collide pay-per-view. People have been wanting sort of like an invasion thing or something along the lines of seeing more TNA talent versus NXT talent on a PLE especially. So after I heard that one little line, I started to think, does that mean that this is going to happen? Is this the beginning of that? Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
No, you are not wrong. And first of all, that segment, that slug right there that he threw, that was heat. That was a heat rock. And I thought that was an amazing way to kick off. But I feel will be that rivalry though, because that's always been kind of an underlining thing between them as fans, though. It is a difference to it and things like that. And I really feel that when he said it just felt so real. I know it's scripted though, but it felt like a real shot at him for real. And he looked like he got really pissed. That's what I liked about it too, though. So I do feel that really can open up that world to possibly get the NXTNA Takeover Worlds Collide. I didn't get tongue tied. All right,
Right.
NXTNA Takeover Worlds Collide PLE. I think it's possible.
See, and here's the thing, like, I didn't feel like it was a direct shot at, like, because he was with WWE before, as we all know, right? But here's the thing, I feel that that was a shot to all of the times that TNA for several years has always been looked down upon as less than for several years. And so that one little line sort of felt like it summarized all of these years of, oh, you're just a TNA wrestler, even though TNA wrestlers are really freaking great, but whatever, that's not the point. But it felt like a shot that sort of like echoed through the past. that's how big the moment was. And so anyways, it was that one little line, to get to your point here, Luis, that kind of gave me hope for a Worlds Collide pay-per-view. We got Sheldon Jackson here who says, it's the flip-flop prince himself. And like Wendy Choo carrying a pillow, it's the pillow princess herself. This should be a good one, LOL. And safe travels tomorrow, Denise. And he also gifted 5 DWO memberships. So thank you so much. Sheldon, I'm sorry. Freaking Chinedu, I know you already addressed Sheldon and his flip-flopping remarks about yourself, but regardless, thank you so much for the super chat, Sheldon. And let's get into everything else here. We got Christopher Marina who says, I hate to say it, but sadly, Kelani Jordan just isn't there yet. You could literally see Rosemary slow down in the match tonight, and it was not good. Okay, so this was another big moment, another big highlight that happened on the show. So as we all know, Wendy Choo and Kelani Jordan have been feuding with one another. And so today they had Wendy Choo basically choose an opponent, a mystery opponent for Kelani Jordan. And it was funny because Chindedu, I was looking up a certain date on my calendar. I busted the Joe Hendry. I was turning around and I was looking the other way. And then I heard the music and I turned and I was like, what? It's Rosemary. Rosemary. For whatever reason, like my brain just did not process or even register that that was going to even be a possibility for some reason. Like I just didn't even think to get excited like, oh, it could be Rosemary. I wasn't thinking on that side of things. I don't know what I was expecting, but when Rosemary came out, it was a genuine surprise to me. And here's the thing, like Rosemary is very popular. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like she has like this like little like cult-like following where people are like so invested in all of the work that she has done in TNA. She has such a great personality. I interviewed her on the channel here, probably like a year and a half ago or 2 years, who knows at this point, when she was doing the Courtney Rush stuff. And she was sort of like not doing the Rosemary thing, and she was doing like a totally different personality. It was a whole thing. Whatever. I did that interview with her, and I was like amazed by how quick the views came in for her. She was one of the people, besides like Naomi from TNA when she was with TNA at the time. They got the most views out of like any TNA wrestler that I had ever interviewed here on the channel. Really? Of course, it was Naomi, Trinity Fatu, but that makes sense because of WWE. And then it was Courtney Rush. Like they were up there with the most views for TNA talent specific interviews. So just to kind of show a little bit about like her popularity, because the really fans like that she's brought something so different and has really made it her own in TNA.
And honestly, to be honest, I wasn't totally familiar with Rosemary. I know who she is and things like that, but you know, I don't watch TNA as often as I would like to. But the crowd reaction that's what made me turn around. I was like, who? And to a point where I felt like the crowd was turning on Kelani.
Yeah.
So like
it was, look, the match wasn't great. And here's the thing. I know this was something that Christopher Marina pointed out. I didn't think it was like awful. And I think the thing that we forget is this is developmental. Like Kelani Jordan has had like this amount of time. And for the audio listeners, I'm putting my hands really, really close together. This amount of time wrestling versus, Rosemary, who has been in the business for this amount of time. So a huge difference in experience levels. And of course, for me, I did find it a little hard to believe when Kelani defeated I'm going to keep wanting to say Courtney Rush, but when she defeated Rosemary, it was kind of hard for me to buy because I knew that didn't feel like a definitive finish. It was more so, Kelani Jordan is going to win in this match because she is the NXT North American champion. But just to kind of put this into comparison, when we saw Roxanne Perez defeat Jordynne Grace, they put on a match that made me buy that, yes, Roxanne Perez definitively defeated Jordynne Grace. Great. I didn't feel like I had to like suspend my disbelief or anything like that. And I think that was the difference in this match where I did have to suspend my disbelief and I did have to buy that Kelani Jordan legitimately could defeat Rosemary, even though I didn't really think that she could. But hey, it happened and it is what it is, right? So again, the match wasn't perfect, but the big thing here that I do want to stress is experience levels could not be more different here between Kelani and Courtney and Rosemary.
Absolutely, Denise. And again, like you said, too, it's way different. And I'm sure, again, going into this match, Rosemary and Kelani are both aware of the difference in experience, things like that, too. Like I say, this is developmental. And I feel, it was not, Kalani's best match, though. But hey, it's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish. She nailed the finish to me. Split like a moonsault was beautiful. So, hey, finish strong. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. Throw a smile, get out of there. But I do feel a heel turn coming.
I know you've been saying it for a while. And that's the thing. Like, I love Kelani. I'm such a fan of hers. And I think after that match that I saw with her and Soruka, I really do think that I know exactly why she's the NXT North American Women's Champion. Like, I know exactly why. And she's had such a, how do I say this? Like, she's learned really, really fast. She's picked up wrestling really, really fast. And now it's just a matter of her, gaining more experience. That's it. Now it's just practice and repetition and, being able to weave in the gymnastics seamlessly into the pro wrestling where it doesn't necessarily, feel like it's disconnected in any way.
See, I'm upset that you didn't get tripped up on that word like I got tripped up on earlier. Now, see, you went through shit. Like, see, I'm mad now, man. Okay,
seamlessly.
like that. I was like improvisation,
Improvisation.
improvisation skills. I couldn't say it for some reason.
It
I got
happens
so
to
tongue
me
tied.
all the time, Chinedu. I remember for the longest time, I couldn't say Missouri. You know what I would always say? Misery.
Misery.
And this is not a shot on people from Missouri. I legitimately could not say the word Missouri. I
I
had to
understand.
practice so much. Like I would look at it and I would say, misery, misery.
Misery. I true story. One of my friends, I'm not gonna say his name. It took him. I think we were in seventh, eighth grade reading a book, and it was we're reading the States out. Why did this boy shout out Arkansas?
Arkansas.
And we're like, what? Arkansas. Boy, Arkansas? Oh, my fault. I was like, whoa.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I,
Arkansas.
I get it because of the way the English language is. Sometimes you look at words and you're like, oh, this is what I learned in school. So this is what I would learn for the pronunciation of that. And then you find out, oh, it's totally pronounced totally different than what we were taught in school and how to pronounce things. That's why people struggle with English, guys, because just fudged up. We all have words we can't say. The number one that I always mess up is golf and golf.
That's true. Golf and golf. Yeah.
I mess that one up all the time. So I'm gonna always stray away from saying golf or golf.
When you were
See?
when you were
Can't even do
when
it.
you when you were a kid, would you say library or library?
No, I would say library. I always had
I,
library down.
I said library till I was like 7 years old. I was like, what? It's what? Rary?
I used to say Valentine's till I was like 30. Valentine's. Okay. And no one effing corrected me, okay? And by the time I did get corrected, it was too late. I was already used to saying Valentine's. There was a meme. There was a meme. I got called out in a meme. There was a meme going around on Facebook. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it, but it basically said, imagine meeting the love of your life and they say Valentine's Day instead of Valentine's. And I sent it to my husband. I'm like, yo, this happened to you?
You should tell them you're welcome. Happy endings is what happens when you meet somebody that says Valentine. A beautiful happy ending. I mean, I'm so sorry I derailed us, man. See what I did? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, viewers. I don't mean to derail us. What were we talking about? Hold on.
All right, don't worry. We got this. All right, here we go. Lazarus Sweet here sends in a super chat saying, Trick must turn to stop Joe. Believe in Joe. Do we get a heel turn by Trick Williams?
No.
I don't think so. Not right now.
Yeah, he's
maybe
too
later.
old. Yeah, because like right now he's one of their top baby faces right now. I mean, he's too over as a top baby face for them to do that, I feel.
All right, so we're not there yet. You're the king of spotting heel turns, Chindedu.
I am, and right now I feel like the biggest baby face on the roster is Trick. I don't think is there anybody you feel that's like
besides Joe Hendry.
Yeah, Joe Hendry. That's it.
It's Joe Hendry, Trick Williams. That would probably be the biggest baby faces for the guys that I could think of right now. Okay, here we go. We got a super chat, a very generous one from Jay Stone. Thank you so much to Jay, who says this might be a hot take, but they cooled down Javon and pushed Trick aside to move Joe Hendry into that main event spot. When he loses to Paige after losing a chance at the TNA title, then what? I hope from there. Okay, that's a really good question because I got to think for a second there because we know they're not gonna send Joe Hendry packing, right? Like that's not gonna happen. I almost want them to somehow stretch this out. Stretch out this feud with Ethan Page and Joe Hendry because I do want to see Joe Hendry become NXT champion again. I don't know if that's in the cards for him since he's not officially a WWE superstar. I don't know if it's in the cards for him yet, possibly. And at the same time, what were you talking about earlier, Chinedu? You were mentioning that Ethan Page's stories haven't been so hot, right? So if you keep this going for a little bit longer, you kind of, we can get both things.
I can agree. And like I said, and he needs something. He needs heat. And I realized I kept saying, he doesn't have any good opponents. Well, he has one now. Joe Hendry. So I'm realizing he has one now. And what better way to like build heat than have him lose? But I do want to see him eventually win it. And I can understand Jay's perspective on pushing Javon, and I mean kind of cooling off on Javon. However, I know Javon is young; he's still developing. Though you could tell they have bright plans for him. But I feel right now putting him to the side right now won't necessarily hurt Javon because I feel he has such a huge upside. And Trick as well. I do feel they're putting Trick aside to kind of build up other players. But I feel they have every intention of moving Trick back into that title picture and eventually back with that title too, though. But I'm hoping eventually Joe Hendry will capture that title. And I think this is the way to do it, though. Have him lose this time, make up some big time heel heat, and possibly you think maybe Trick or Joe Hendry win the title to debut on CW. You think?
So I'm looking at this right now and I'm trying to think of like other wrestlers that he can, work in a program with. And here's a big one that I think can work and it would help this person a whole lot. What about Lexis King?
I am a Lexis King fan. I'm not mad at that. I truly am not. I know Lexis King could be booked better in terms of the card. I honestly thought he was already going to be a major player in the NXT Championship picture at this point. He hasn't really been in any title pictures lately. He's kind of been in his own kind of random feuds, but I think it's a good addition. He's not bad in the ring. I like his charisma. I think the promos would be good. I'm with that.
Because there's not that many options. He could do something down the line with Wes Lee. There's Tony D'Angelo, your fave, Sean Spears, Lexis King, who I just mentioned. They already did the stuff with him and Joe Coffey. He's feuding right now with Ethan Page. I mean, who's he going to feud with? Charlie Dempsey? That's kind of it. Like, there's not that many like big names that I can throw out there that I can see working with Joe Hendry if he doesn't win the NXT championship. So honestly, for me, the best option is looking like Lexis King.
Yeah, because you look at it like who else is really.
Everyone's also saying like Obafemi, but here's the thing: I don't want to see Obafemi lose yet. So that's why I'm like, keep him away from Obafemi.
Yes, because I really feel Oba should have like a year plus reign with that title because he's so dominant. And Tony D'Angelo, I felt it should not be the one that defeats him. I just don't feel that way.
Q Lee says it has to be Sean Spears. Trick got to get that payback from him when he cost Trick the belt. And so maybe more on long for Trick Williams. But all right, we got Sven Big here who says, hey, Denise, just wanted to say have a safe trip tomorrow. And I'll be checking out all your content. And thank you for all that you do for us fans. Thank you so much, man. I'm so excited to be going down to Berlin. I was actually making my my little schedule here today, working on what I'm going to be doing. And so I'm really excited about it. We'll see how it goes. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm ready for it. And I'm going to be trying to get as much content as I possibly can. So thank you so much. And yeah, keep an eye out for that. We got Stephen Marchuli who says Jada and Roxanne saw Stephanie Vacker, or did they see, he says Natty. Natty. I don't think it's Natty. We're going to get to that in just a second. We got Sheldon Jackson who says, this is the second time you said I'll have my response next week, Chinedu, dropping the ball again, I see.
Oh, wow. See, my man paid money to say that. Sheldon Jackson, first of all, you are rich and an outlaw. I respect that. I can't even lie, man. I like the heat. I'm with it. I'm with it, man. I'm going to see you next week, man. All right, I'm going to see you next week. It's in my queue. I'm going to watch it, Mr. Jackson. If that's your real name. Is this Tony Khan? This could be Tony Khan behind here. Is this Tony Khan?
We got so many Tony Khans here. We got so many. We got Rob Hines here who says, can we be getting an NXT and TNA Survivor Series match? Maybe NXT wins and takes over Impact for a week or two. Hey, I kind of like that idea, but no, I think more so along the lines of a joint pay-per-view, sort of like a Forbidden Door type thing, but like everyone's calling it like a Worlds Collide. I could see it more like that because I can't imagine them doing like a full-on takeover. It would be fun, but I don't know if they would do it. We'll see. Thank you so much, Rob, for putting that out there. We got David Primero who says, do you think Wendy Choo will win the bout at No Mercy since the champion Kelani won before a PLE, which usually happens on a WWE booking? All right, so let's go ahead and get to that match there. or what happened there with these girls here. Oh, well, we technically already talked about it. I'm sorry. But in terms of Wendy Choo winning, I'm just going to be real with you. I haven't been that interested in what they've been doing with Wendy Choo as of late. I'm far more interested in them keeping the belt on Kelani and continuing to see her grow as an athlete on the show, because right now I'm not feeling the Wendy Choo character. I flipped. I busted a Chinedu. I flipped. I'm going the other direction. I used to really like what they had Wendy Choo do. This whole like dark thing, it's not working for me. And like even having her, and I hate to say this, but like, for example, today we had her and Rosemary in the same ring. I looked at Wendy Choo and I looked at Rosemary, and it was just too contrast. And I'm like, oh, now that's really spooky. Like this is child spooky, and then this is spooky spooky. And those two big differences along the lines of also this, they haven't really had her really do anything. She's just been, standing there and, making creepy faces. That's not really doing that much for me, at least. And it sucks because I was looking forward to this Wendy Choo return.
No, I agree. Like Wendy Choo is the whole character itself. It hasn't been. It's not a threat. Like it's not even like Undertaker spooky or like it's just like not even Danhausen spooky. Honestly, no disrespect to Danhausen.
I was gonna say Danhausen spooky. I don't see Danhausen as spooky.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just like you said. Like I'm honestly not into it. I don't see her winning the title. I don't even see her as a credible challenger. Not saying she can't go in the ring or nothing like that, but just
she
the way
can
it's
go in the ring. That's the thing. She can go.
Yeah, but the character itself is just I don't know. But I'm hoping they'll come out here and give us an amazing match because, like I said, they have it in them. But just the character itself, I don't like this Wendy Choo character. I don't like this version of it. I'd rather she be something different to me.
Yeah, David Primero says I feel Tatum Paxley's doing creepy better than the new Wendy Choo. Like she's got it down. She's got that thing down. All right, we got David Primero here who says, should NXT Women Tag be back for Fatal Influence? I'm going to say no, not yet. I still think like there's still not enough tag teams. I mean, they have so many girls though. They could make tag teams like they are right now with the Fatal Influence. But yeah, I'm going to still say not right now. Thank you so much, David. We got Terrence Johnson who says, Jada put some stank on that slap. P.S. them not turning the camera around was a wasted opportunity. So that was definitely done on purpose to get us talking. So let's talk about what went down here because this was probably another really big part of the show. So we had a Jada Parker interview where she's been being interviewed by Sarah Schreiber. And it's pretty much just her talking about how she signed 2 years ago. She used to be a soccer player. She really wants a big career in WWE. The generic stuff, right? Just kind of getting a little background info on her. The interview is eventually crashed by Roxanne Perez. She kicks Sarah Schreiber out. She sits in that seat and she tells her, you like Lola Vice, like Thea Hale, you all came at me with a story. And guess what? Your stories didn't matter. So she kind of shits on her story and all of that, right? Jada tells her, I'm going to slap you. And I'm thinking, oh, then she's just saying that. No, Jada stands up and freaking slaps Roxanne like there's no tomorrow, okay? So she gets up and she addresses somebody off camera. She basically says, oh, I've heard about you and something like if you want a piece of me, whatever, right? So she threatens that person that she sees. Then we get a shot of Roxanne Perez, who is waking up from that slap, and she turns and she also spots this person. So instantly everybody's like, who is this? Who is this person? Who can it be? It could be lots of people. My initial thought was that it was Cora Jade. But then I thought, no, specifically because Jada Parker said the words, I've heard about you. So saying that means that it's somebody that has not been on NXT before. So that's got everybody thinking, is it Stephanie Vacker? Is it Julia? Is it Delta? Those are more so the names that a lot of people are sort of mentioning. I'm kind of hoping, and I'm really hoping that it's Stephanie Vacker. That's where I'm at. I hope it's Stephanie. Where are you at with this?
I'm the same way. I hope it's Stephanie Vacker too, because at this point, I want her on the roster already. Like I want to see her mixing up with Roxanne. We've been talking about it long enough. I want to see a debut already. All right, one of these girls. But man, I want Stephanie Vacker. That's what I'm hoping it is.
So it's kind of hard to say. We got a lot of people here, by the way, that also thought that it was Cora. And that was my first instinct. My first instinct was Cora Jade. And technically, I don't think, Jada has been there for 2 years, right? But Cora Jade has, she came back. She was there for a little bit, but then she got hurt and then she was out again. So her and Jada have never, crossed paths or anything like that, at least not that I recall. So I mean, with her saying, "Oh, I've heard about you," it could sort of also apply to Cora Jade.
That can apply because I'm trying to think back. I don't ever recall them even interacting. Even if they were together at the same time, I don't recall them even interacting or being on the roster at the same time. So that is a possibility. Because I mean, and Cora J again, I feel that would be a great addition to it though, because I feel like that's so much history right there. That's who in my mind I thought her reign was going to end with because it's such history with them, and I felt it had to end with the girl you kind of came in with though, but you started your run here with tag champions, y'all were a team, broke up, the rivalry, the messed up skateboard thing, all that stuff, man. It's all part of the history. I did feel that was a good way to tie that up for them. But we'll see who it is though. Stephanie or Cora, I'm excited about either one. I love that slap from Jada Parker. That was amazing. And I love me some Roxanne Perez. That is the homie. By the way, love the interview you guys did. If you guys have not seen the interview that Denise did with Roxanne Perez, check it out. It's on the page right now. It is awesome. Very great. And this is a great segment overall. Like I just loved it. I love Roxanne as champion. I know Jada's not going to win. She's not going to win, guys. I want her to win, but it's not. And I
She's
also
already
love,
won in your heart, Chinedu. Where
yes,
it matters.
yes, she's already won in my heart. She's a star. Look, this is for her because she does this a lot. A lot of the points. She does a lot of the points. So that's my thing with her. I love it. But and I really like that they highlight that she's a former D1 athlete. And I like that they're making that kind of a source of contention on the NXT roster now, because I feel it's always something that's been there but never discussed. Because a lot of top wrestlers came from other sports. Goldberg, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and it's it's really good. I like that in there.
All right. So with that being said, those were like our really big stories. So I'm going to work our way into some of the other lesser, bigger stories. That does not make sense. We're working our way down. We did touch on this briefly earlier, but I do want to circle back to this and get into more in depth about this. And this was the Zachary Wentz, Wes Lee face-to-face that we saw between them. Now, I mentioned earlier that it was that key moment when Wes Lee threw a shot at him and said, "I'm a WWE superstar. You're just a TNA wrestler." That was a shot. And that was also to me, a glimpse that, hey, we may actually see this Worlds Collide pay-per-view happen. But aside from that, I personally felt like there was a lot of stuff here that was good because this is, a friendship that was real, a friendship that, a group that disbanded. I had one problem with this. And it was basically just when it came down to the verbiage, because if you noticed, I don't know if you caught this, but Wes Lee just kept saying the same thing over and over. Zachary Wentz kept bringing up all of these new points and saying all of these new things. And Wes Lee just kept saying the exact same thing. "You're not on my level." He at least said it 3 times. Yes, I counted. And I thought there should be something else thrown in here. Because if not, then you're done talking and just let Zachary Wentz run with it, because he's bringing up a lot of really good points. And I kind of felt like it felt like Wes Lee didn't have as much to say than Zachary Wentz did.
Yeah, he did. And I'm trying to remember, was Wes Lee ever really that great on the mic to begin with? I'm trying to think about it, though, because I don't really
He's good at the emotional stuff. He's good at the emotional stuff. I think he's good at getting like sympathy from the audience and people just connecting with him on the babyface level. But this is different now because now he's not a babyface.
Yeah, it's definitely different though. I know it'll take some adjustment though, but you can tell, it's gonna take some time. He's new to being a heel, but like you said, it was almost like he forgot his lines or something.
You
I know he did forget his. I don't think he did, but it was just weird that he kept repeating the same thing, because that's weird to do that over and over again. "You're not on my level. You're not on my level," and that's just like, you said that already, man. And it was like the other lines was, "Oh, it'd have been good for the nostalgia part," which is another part, but he kept going back to "You're not on my level." He even ended it with that. Like, it was a great silver bullet he had with the WWE Superstar TNA Wrestler line, but everything else, again, stuck on replay. And I'm wondering, did you forget your lines? I really thought about that.
Wow. Now that you said that, now it's got me thinking that like similar, because I'm like, either they just didn't write enough for him, or maybe they just decided to do bullet points. I don't know what the process of putting together this was. This could be a situation where you're scripted word for word or you're given bullet points. I don't know. Everybody works very differently. And I feel like this was a situation where they would be scripted word for word.
I mean, I would think so, but I mean, regardless of what it was though, I think he went. I think he went blank for a second because it's like it just kind of awkwardly. It just went on like you're not on my level, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna prove to you not on my level. And no, Zach is just like, bro. It blew like Zach is like, we lying.
I
What are
can
you doing?
see that happening too because I remember when I was on the dance team, and this is totally different than cutting a promo. So, mind you, totally different. But I remember we had like just a class, just one period to put together a whole routine. And I remember that once we had practiced it, I had it down, I knew all the moves. And then once we had to perform it in front of the class, Chinedu, I forgot everything. I forgot all the moves except for like the first move that I did. So you know what I did the whole time? The same move over and over again. I had. So I'm like, okay, I can see why you would rely on something over and over again if indeed he did forget, because I've been there, but with dance.
I think it's gonna happen. First of all, I would love to see that footage though. To see Denise just move the same move over and over again, like a player that's just stuck on the video games, moving up and down the
No,
same motion.
Chinedu. I was
Yeah.
dancing with 4 other girls, and let me tell you, they were not pleased with me. They didn't even talk to me afterwards, and I didn't blame them. I was the heel in that because I messed up, and because I messed up, I messed them all up. So I mean, it was a group performance, and I forgot everything.
I mean, dang, Denise. I mean, it's awkward, but it's still kind of hilarious, though, man. That's like an episode of
That's how
Pepper
I
Ann
know.
or
That's how I know, Chinedu. I could never be a wrestler. I'd forget everything I had to do in the match. I'd forget all the match. I'd be like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I would get lost. I would be the wrestler that gets lost in the ring.
I would too. Wrestling, being a wrestler itself ain't for me. I don't know if I ever told you that. I took a bump one time. One time. I was like, I'm good for this. I'm good. That's why salute to all you guys that take months. Salute to you and Sean Ross South again, that ring that time y'all did. Respect. I couldn't do it. I took that bump. Oh no. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I rolled out the ring so fast, like I was like a creative player. Just get out of here. It was
Hey,
hard.
some of us know what we're good at and what we're not good at. Spend Big reminds me, Denise getting chopped by Thunder Rosa was crazy. That's the most extreme thing I've done. Thank you for reminding me of that, by the way. Love that. But by the way, Real Champ 54 here says he thinks that Wesley repeating himself may have been on purpose. If it was, it didn't feel that way. Honestly, it didn't feel that way. It came across as like, bro, you got nothing else. Come on, fire back with something else.
Yeah, cause to be like the arrogant heel, that's like I mean, I ain't got nothing much else to say to you. I ain't got much else to say. I can understand it though, but we're on a TV show, so you got to fill this up with some dialogue and real convincing points. We're telling the story, so I could see it though, but I kind of doubt that.
All right. So I do want to get into some of the other items that we saw here on the show. These are kind of just like our fast little bullet points. So really quick, let's get to it and then we'll do some NXT No Mercy predictions. So here we go. Fatal Influence versus Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Finally here, a victory for Fatal Influence. They get the win. They got new music. Love it. Got some lyrics. Cool. I'll take it. It's been a while since we've gotten a lyricy song. And so the one thing I just got to keep saying is they need to match their gear. Jakara Jackson did make me nervous on that one dive. Oh my God, I got so scared when I saw her land. I was scared that she was just going to flip over like right on her head. I panicked there for a second. But other than that, this was fine.
I think so. It was a fine match. I mean, I wasn't sure if there were reports that Fallon Henry may have injured her nose on that match. Did you ever hear anything about that?
I didn't see that. No. Mm-mm.
Huh.
Okay. And now I do want to go ahead and get into the Karmen Petrovic Izzi Dame match here. So a couple of thoughts that I had during this, and really the one thing that I kept thinking about was Izzi Dame has a very, very great physique. You know, she's a taller gal. And I feel like she could be like the Amazon type. I kind of wish that they would like accentuate that a lot more because I feel that both of these girls, they're very, very similar in how they look. And if you like put them both in street clothes and out of their gear and out of like Karmen Petrovic not coming out with the ponytail, not coming out with the sword, I wouldn't know who was who. So I'm like, I think part of it is like having to like, you know, make yourself stand out, make yourself look different because people are going to remember you, right? Like you're not going to confuse Tatum Paxley. Why? Because she's got the black hair.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like sometimes you got to just like switch your looks so that because there's so many blondes on the roster, so many blondes.
A whole lot. And I mean, you are right though. I do think a refresher of her look could do her some favors because with a stacked roster like this, with so many women, you got to stand out and find some way. Because right now, the look she has right now, like you said too, they look like they could be related. The same person.
Yeah, so and I think that they both have like so much potential, and that's what I'm saying. Like Izzi Dame, I really want them to like build her up like like a Rhea Ripley, like a China, like that type, because I think she has like the
Yeah.
look for it. The Raquel Rodriguez type, that like along with Lash Legend, they have that type of physique. So, anyways, that was something that I definitely picked up on while I was watching this particular match here. But Karmen, she gets the win, and Karmen Petrovic, she's been consistently on NXT now for for like what, like a year now? I don't even know. For several months, we've been seeing a whole lot about Karmen Petrovic. She just hasn't had the star making moment yet on the show, where she's like really, I feel like, gotten over with the fans as a heel or as a baby face. It hasn't happened yet, but I do like that she's consistently on and she's become somebody of a regular. Like we're starting to see them start to build the incoming crop of the women on NXT, right? Because you were always seeing like your core girls, and now we're starting to see like the new girls come in and start to get their shit in.
I definitely agree because no, we've seen Carmen be put in different situations, different scenarios here and there, to kind of highlight her and things like that. And it's been okay, but I do feel possibly once the next class of women get called up to the main roster, I definitely see her being elevated into a more prominent premier spot.
I feel ya. Alrighty, we got Malik Blade versus Brooks Jensen, and it was so funny because Booker T was like, "Oh, I've never seen Malik Blade in a singles match," and I started thinking, like, did Booker T miss when Malik Blade used to wrestle in singles matches? And yeah, he wasn't doing commentary yet at that point. It was when he was teaming with Idris Nofi that he started calling his matches. But I've been a fan of Malik Blades now for like the longest time, man. But this was funny because the way that this match started, Malik Blade was at 100 and Brooks Jensen was at a 0. The energy levels were
Yeah.
so different here.
Yes.
So different. And I kind of love the way that Malik Blade started this match. He went 0 to 100. Like that's what we saw in him. So that was kind of fun. But of course, we finally get a victory here for Brooks Jensen. Like I don't recall him getting very many victories.
No.
So this kind of felt like, okay, good for him. It's finally happening. Cool. But yeah, that was really the biggest thing that I was thinking about during this was just like the difference in energy.
I agree. Fine match. Big difference in energy. Once again, well, mainly for me, I'm happy to see a brother on the show that does not have dreads. That made me feel good because for a while, I was like, does every black dude on the show have dreads and good hairlines? He doesn't have dreads, but he does have a great hairline though. So that still hurts me a little bit, man. So, we all can't be so lucky.
No, unfortunately not. Sorry, Chindedu. It's just the way the cards are. All right. We also had Javon Evans versus Joe Coffey. Javon Evans, who we were talking earlier, someone had mentioned that they felt that he had kind of cooled down a little bit, and it's fine. He's just a kid. Like, yeah, go cool down, do your thing. I have no concerns or worries with Javon Evans. He is just going out there, having his matches. He's in the finding his self phase. Like he can make mistakes, he can make errors, and like I just see him as just a kid right now. So I really am cool with whatever it is that he's doing on the show. I just still see him that way. But the two big moments that really stood out to me were the two cutters that he hit, especially the one towards the end. Off the top of the rope. I thought, Jesus Christ, dude, how the hell do you get more air while you're already in the air? So he's just coming across looking really good, really exciting. Joe Coffey gets a win with his clothesline. Cool, fine. This was fun.
I agree, and you said so since he's so young, like I honestly I see him as a talent that WWE wants to sign because he's so talented, but maybe not even using majorly for another 5 years. And I'm not even saying that in a bad way, but just saying that like in 5 years he'll be 24. Like he'll be 24 years old. Like okay, like he's not even like what? Like I see him. This is what I wish would happen for Dante Martin in AEW, like a great high flyer, great skills, kind of booked that way. I know he's injured right now though, but I'm kind of wishing that this kind of same trajectory though. But overall, great match, great air. And again, so him losing right now ain't gonna hurt. Ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Nothing, not at all. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our predictions here. Let's work our way. We got 6 matches, NXT No Mercy. Here we go. Wes Lee, Zachary Wentz. Who do you got, Chinedu?
Wes Lee will win.
I think you should too, because if not, it's like, oh, you did this big heel turn for nothing. What are you doing, bro? I think Wes Lee also has to win this. All right. NXT Tag Team Championship match. We're seeing the former champions, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, challenge Chase University, Andre Chase and Ridge Holland. I know, Chinedu, that they are not going to have Chase U drop the titles. So that's why I'm going to have to go with Chase U.
I was going to say that at first until I saw Ridge Holland's promo. And he, in the promo, said, as long as we have these titles, I'm going to have your back, which lets me know.
Oh, please.
Lets me think
please.
that Axiom and Frazier win these titles
back.
Tonight? Yeah, he said that tonight on Tonight Show. So if they win the titles, Ridge Holland's going to lay out Andre Chase and turn on Chase U.
See, I feel bad because I'm so disinterested in Chase U that I'm watching and I'm not even registering what they're saying anymore. I'm just like, blank face. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to have to flip-flop then. I'm going to have to flip-flop. Screw it. Nathan Frazier and Axiom to get their titles back, baby. Please.
Yes.
Please. To quote the great Sabrina Carpenter. All right. NXT North American Championship. Oba Femi versus Tony D'Angelo, which, by the way, Oba Femi was looking pretty sharp today. Did you see the nice-ass suit he had? It was very nice. Oba Femi to retain. What do you got, Chinedu?
I'm going with Chocolate Broccoli himself, man. Oba Femi, man. He's going to retain that title. By the way, this is a random about Worlds Collide. I don't watch TNA a lot, so forgive me, chat, if I offend you guys with this question. Is Moose still with TNA?
Yes.
I would love to see Moose and Oba Femi. If we're to do like a Worlds Collide, that's a match I definitely want to see. That's random, but yeah.
No, I get you. All right. So you went with the Oba Femi, right?
Oba Femi.
Yeah.
Oba
okay.
Femi.
Cool. NXT Women's North American Championship, Kelani Jordan versus Wendy Choo. I hope Kelani Jordan retains here.
I hope so too. I don't even know where they would even go with the Wendy Choo title reign. What would they even do? I don't just I'm sorry, young Wednesday Addams cannot win this title, guys. She has to stay with the grown-up lady. I really wish they'll give Wendy a new gimmick because again, I've heard she's great in that ring. I've heard great things about this girl, but she needs a new gimmick. This is again, luckily this is developmental. So I'm sure when she gets called up, if she gets called up, it'll be something different though. But Kelani will retain.
It's just crazy to me. If they do have Wendy Choo win, and I'm like, really? You couldn't go with Soruka? When I thought everybody was rooting for Soruka. Whatever. All right. It's just I'm not into the character right now. I hope they win me back because I was a fan. So make me a fan again. All right. Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, NXT Championship. Oh my God. Official prediction, Chinedu. This one's hard.
Okay. Now we've had a great time. We sung along. We did the thing together. Trick came out. I was hyped. Y'all know I get hyped when my man Trick come out. It's the homie. But to be honest, seeing everything with Pete Dunne is going to come in this match. He's going to take out Trick. He may end up helping Ethan win. Ethan will retain to major heel heat.
I'm torn because part of me is like, I completely agree with that. Hell, I brought it up here on this show.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, if Joe Hendry doesn't win, I don't want to be the person that did not believe.
I mean, but it's kind of looking that way, man. Maybe Josh Alexander comes in too and runs in and does something, but I was excited at first though, but now the reality kind of sets in a little bit more. I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna win this title, man. Now that I'm looking at it. And again, too, he's a TNA guy, man. He is signed with TNA. And I know this is a new regime and all that though, but that's still that factor of another person from another company holding your belt. I don't know. Now I think about it, again, Ethan's gonna retain. Major heel heat. This is his first real rivalry, and this is a good chance, to be honest, to make him a real credible dickhead champion.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My brain is saying Ethan Page and my heart is saying Joe Hendry. This is one of those situations, brain versus heart.
Yeah, but it'll be great. It's like I think about when Triple H pinned Mick Foley at Royal Rumble 2000. That kind of heat. When you know what I mean? I mean, it was of course it's very different though, but like you're pinning the fan favorite, it makes Triple H even more of a dick. So I feel that's something that Ethan kind of does need as well, kind of get over with that crowd as the heel champion.
Oh my God. All right. So I
Yeah.
think Ethan Page is going to win. But for my official prediction, just in case, I'm going to go with my official prediction being Joe Hendry. I'm choosing my heart, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is very hard. All right. And last but not least, Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker for the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez all the way on this one.
Absolutely. Roxanne's going to retain. I do want to say, Jada Parker, you're a phenomenal talent. And when you decide to get interviewed by one of the very best, Denise Salcedo, I want to let you know that I've always been a big fan, okay? But I'm a huge fan, okay? But this Sunday, it's going to go to Roxanne, though, just because the story of her, like, almost never ending reign is much more compelling right now. And I know we missed this, too. Did you see OTM bothering Hank and
Hank and
Tank talking
Tank.
about.
Hank and Tank were hella hilarious in that. They even spoke a little Spanish.
Yes, hilarious. And like it's so weird because like I realize how very rarely we even hear OTM talk on camera.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. This might have
Yeah.
they've talked before because they had a bunch of those vignettes
Yeah.
that aired, but it's been a long time. A
It's been
long
a
time.
long time. A long time since
That's
they've
how
had
it
like mic
feels.
time. Yeah.
Thank you so much to Arnold Nicholson Jr. who sends in a super chat saying "safe trip, Denise." Thank you so much, Arnold. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I love that everybody already knows when I'm like going to be out and when I'm going to be in. People know my schedule now. This is great. I love it. Alrighty, guys. So that is it for us here today. Before we go, just a friendly reminder, we were just talking about it. I will be at Bash in Berlin this week, my first time over in Germany. So keep an eye out for Bash in Berlin content. I'm going to be trying my hardest to get interviews, press conference stuff, you name it, the works. You guys know what to expect. I'll be putting it up on the channel. So make sure you guys check that stuff out. Chinedu, what do you got going on?
Currently working on my upcoming show, September 21st. It is my Houston show. I've added a second show. The first show is sold out, so I've added a second show. 9:30. It's so dope. Very excited about that.
The
You all
same
come
day?
on. Same day. It was same day. I'll be 7:30 show and a 9:30 show though. So as I'm clearing out, probably start closer to 10. But I'm very excited about it though. Thank you all for getting tickets. I cannot wait to see all you guys there. As well as that, after that show, I'll be starting my tour across Texas and the rest of the South. So if you were in San Antonio, Fort Worth, Dallas, El Paso, the Valley, Miami, Orlando, Phoenix, and Atlanta, I'll be coming your way this fall on television. You can catch me on the #1 sports show every Sunday on the CBS affiliate channel KHOU in Houston, Sports Extra, #1 morning show in Houston on KHOU, H-Town Rush. You can also catch me on digitally on Merit Street Media, Dr. Phil's channel. You can also catch me on my own pages. I make skits every single day. But other than that, you can also do me a big favor and check out Denise's channel, watch the interview with Roxanne Perez while she's on the road in Germany. Watch those interviews. The one with Ronda Rousey's up as well right now. It's a great interview. You don't want to miss out on as well. Click those videos and support the channel. The main thing you can do.
What is it again? Click, don't be a dick. Click it,
Yes.
don't. What's
Yes.
it again?
Don't be a dick. Give it a click.
Oh, yeah, I had it backwards. Click.
So don't be a click. Give it a dick.
Oh my God, Chinadu.
Oh God.
With that is our show, ladies and gents. The next podcast that I will be back on will be until next Wednesday when Reg and I return for the AEW Dynamite show until the 4th. The 4th is the next show. Yeah, the 4th. So September 4th is the next podcast. So just a couple of days, but don't worry, Bash in Berlin content will be going up. Alrighty, guys. Bye, everyone.